That is the famous theme from Gone with the Wind, which remains the most famous Civil War drama throughout the world. But what is considered the most savage war in American history remains the subject of drama and speculation. I'm here to tell you about a new 6-hour television miniseries, which is set in Virginia in 1862 and filmed in Virginia more recently. It premieres Sunday night in the midst of a hoopla of publicity and challenges that make it arguably the most anticipated television event of the year. You can catch it Sunday at 10 p.m. on WHRO-TV. It is called Mercy Street, and it involves the nurses, doctors, soldiers, and civilians in and around a Union hospital in Alexandria. It is the first American drama to be presented on public broadcasting in more than 10 years. It has already been the subject of 2 sold-out gala advance screenings at the Mariners Museum in Hampton. The fact remains, can any television miniseries measure up to this kind of a build-up? The answer, after seeing the first 2 hours, is maybe. But, there's that word, but. It's going to depend on your volunteer efforts to become acquainted with these characters. They don't jump at you immediately. The main 2 characters are Dr. Foster, a civilian who grew up on a wealthy Maryland plantation but is now serving the Union, and Nurse Mary Feeney, a feisty New England woman who is a widow and a staunch supporter of the Union. They're at odds, they argue even about the cause of the war, but it is apparent that romance is going to develop here. But will it be early enough to save the series? You might be relieved to know that this is not just a dark hospital story. It gathers spark when it introduces a wide group of characters from the Southern spies to freed slaves and others. It also shares with Gone with the Wind that it is a Civil War drama that has no battle scenes. This is not an epic. This is not a saga. In fact, we sometimes feel claustrophobia because of the persistent close-ups. Sometimes we yearn for news of the war. We feel trapped inside a hospital. At one point, we do hear about the Battle of Williamsburg. And with the exception of Dorothea Dix, the tough superintendent of Army nurses, played by Broadway theater legend Cherry Jones, there are practically no historical names in the show. The show was shot entirely in Virginia, namely at Laburnum House on Westwood Avenue in Richmond, for the interiors, with exteriors largely shot in the Old Town section of Petersburg. PBS is gambling mightily that this can catch some of the Downton Abbey fans who are reveling in the last season of that beloved show. They would love to have another Downton Abbey. But maybe. In any case, any Civil War drama is going to get a large audience in this historic part of the nation. Mercy Street, sight unseen, is a television event, and once you latch on to these characters, you may be captured. We are anxious to see the rest of it.